Resul-i Ekrem ve Nebi Muhterem sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem Efendimiz Hazretlerinin aziz, pak, münevver, mutahhar ruh şeriflerine salavat-ı şerife getirenlerin ahir ve akıbetleri hayrola. Âl-i ezvacı, tahiret evladı, Resul-i Sahabe efendilerimizin, sair enbiya-i izam ve Resul-i fiyan haziratın ervah şeriflerine, Pirimiz Bilal-i Habeş radıyallahu anh Efendimizin, mihmandar Resul-i Kibriya, Eyüp Sultan Halid bin Zeyd Eba Eyyub el-Ensar radıyallahu anh, Şah Mürşidan, Şah Hacı Muhammed Muhaddin Nakşibend el-Buhari, Mevlana Celaleddin el-Rumi, Mevlana Ziyaddin Halid el-Bağdadi, Sahib-ü Zaman, Kıblet-i İslam, Şeyh Mevlana Muhammed Nazım Adel el-Erkani, Sahib-ü Seyf, Şeyh Abdülkerim el-Kıbrıs el-Rabbani Kaddesallahu, Esraruhum haziratının vervahı için, Hademül Harameyn-ü Şerifeyn, Yavuz Sultan Selim Han, Ebul Fetval Mehazi Fatih Sultan Mehmet Han, ve Serdar Hakan Sultan Abdülhamid Han cennet mekan, Firdevs-i Aşiyan haziratın ervahine ve avn-i inayetine, alel husus bu caminin bahanesi ve bugüne kadar içerisinden gelmiş geçmiş, imam, müezzin, kayyım ve cemaatinin ve kahve-i ehli ivanın ervahı için, Allah rızası için El Fatiha. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İnnallâhe ve melâiketehu yusallûne alen-nebi. Ya eyyühellezine âmenû sallu aleyhi ve sellimû teslîmâ. Allahümme salli ala seyyidina Muhammed ve ala ali seyyidina Muhammed. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah, Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah, Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah, Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Hayya ale's-salâh, hayya ale's-salâh, hayya alel-felâh, hayya alel-felâh. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber, la ilahe illallah.
La ilahe illallah, seyyidina Muhammed Resulullah sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem. Elhamdülillah, elhamdülillah, elhamdülillahi rabbil alemin. Vessalatu vesselamu ala Resulina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecma'in. Nahmadullah Teala ve nestağfiruhu, eşhedü en la ilahe illallah vahdehu la şerike leh ve eşhedü enne seyyidina Muhammeden abduhu ve habibuhu ve resuluhu sallallahu aleyhi ve ala alihi ve ezvacihi ve sebet tabi'i hulefâ raşidin mahadin min ba'di ve zemmeti ala tahkik ve zemihnu ala meti hulefâ resul ala tahkik Umarel müminin Hazreti Ebu Bakr, Umar, Osman ve Ali ve ala bakir sabit tabi'in rıdvanatı ala ilhim ecma'in. Ya eyyuhal müminul hazirun Allah Teala innallaha ma'allezîne ittekavullezîne hum muhsinun. Elhamdülillahi rabbil alemin. Esselatu vesselamu ala eşrefil enbiya ve murselin Seyyidina Mevlana Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecma'in. All praises are due to Allah, Lord of the universes. All praises are due to Allah, who says in the Holy Quran, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. All that is on earth will perish, but there remains forever the face of your Lord, the owner of might and glory. Then which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? All that are in the heavens and the earth ask of him. Every day he shines in a new splendor. Then which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? Soon we will settle your affairs, O both of your worlds. Then which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? O company of jinn and men, if you have the power to pass beyond the regions of the heavens and the earth, then pass beyond them but you will never pass beyond them without a sultan. Then which of the favors of your Lord will you deny? Sadaqallah al-Azim. May all peace and blessings be upon our Master Sayyidina Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. Hazrat Abdul Rahman ibn Auf radiyallahu an is mentioning that the Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam said, Jibreel came to me and said, whoever sends salams and salawats upon you, I will send salawat upon him. And whoever sends salams upon you, I will send salams upon him. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, when he heard this, I made sajda shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa nabil ummi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. May peace and blessings be upon his noble family and blessed companions. The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, the most merciful from my ummah to my ummah is Abu Bakr. And the most serious of them concerning the commands of Allah is Umar. And the truest in modesty amongst them is Osman. And the best in judging is Ali. The masters of the youth of paradise are Hassan and Hussein. And the master of the women of paradise is Fatima. And Hamza is the lion of Allah and the lion of his Prophet. Ya Allah, grant your forgiveness to Abbas and his children, and outward and inward forgiveness, and leave no mistake unforgiven. Allah, Allah. Fear Allah when it comes to my companions. Do not make them targets after me. Whoever loves them, he loves them because of his love for me, and whoever hates them because of his hatred towards me. And the best of my nation is my generation, then those who follow them, and those who follow them. The Sultan is the shadow of Allah on earth. Whoever honors the Sultan, Allah will honor him. And whoever hates the Sultan, Allah will hate him. And the words of the Prophet speak the truth. May Allah raise the station of a noble Mashayikh of the most distinguished Naqshbandi way, the Rahbars of the caravan to divine presence. May Allah bless our noble Ottoman grandfathers, the flag bearers of Haqq and Adalat, who came to bring down Batil and Zulm. May Allah bless those who love them. May Allah curse those who hate them. Ameen. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers, today is the holy day of Jummah, the first day of Safarul Khair. The believer must always be aware of Allah and have fear from Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, fear them not, but fear me, if you are true believers. Sadaqallah al-Azim. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ saying, the beginning of hikmat is the fear of Allah. One of the last advice that the Holy Prophet ﷺ gave to us in his Hujjatul Wada was, fear Allah, your Lord, and pray your 5 prayers. Fast your month of Ramadan, give charity from your wealth, and obey those in authority over you. You will enter the paradise of your Lord. These days are coming with a reminder to bring that taqwa, that fear of Allah into our lives. Because the month of Safar is a month when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's curse and punishment is descending to the earth. Sahibul Saif, Sheikh Abdul Karim al-Kabrisi Rabbani Qatasir is saying, in Safar, 700,000 curses and punishments are removed from the Lawful Mahfuz and coming down to the first level of the sky. During that month, that heaviness is coming down, and whatever incident is going to happen to people during that whole year, from this Safar to the following year, month of Safar, whatever curses and punishments are going to reach to people, it's coming down. We must be careful. We must not be standing in the open to receive that punishment. We must run a little more, make our schedule a little more tight during this month to make a little more extra zikr and extra prayers. At least to do some voluntary worship, not to go out from the house without reciting Ayatul Kursi, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from those curses that are coming down. Inshallah, when the intention is correct, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect His servants. We must correct our intentions and we must run to do good things and good deeds for the sake of Allah. Believers must be awake, in an awakening station. Because when a man gives himself over to heedlessness, that time he is giving himself over to his ego and his shaitan to be chained and to become their slave. Sultan al-Awliya, Shaykh Maulana Muhammad Nazim al-Haqqani Qadasasir is talking very straight about how dangerous ghaflat is. May Allah not make us ignorant, for ignorance and carelessness are the source of all oppression and darkness. The state of the Islamic world today stems from this ghaflat. Heedlessness brings believers to the point of kufr. This is a serious word. The Sultan al-Awliya is saying that if someone is not careful, their ghaflat can bring them to the point of kufr. So what must we do? We must come out from heedlessness and come to an awakening station. What advice will wake us up? What will make us to come out from this station? Hazrat Umar Farooq radiallahu an, he is giving one answer. He was writing on his ring so that he could always look at it. It is saying, death is enough of an advisor for you, Ya Umar. Death and the remembrance of our death, that will keep man in an awakening station. Holy Prophet ﷺ said, remember often the destroyer of pleasures, death. Forgetting death, fearing death, hating death, it is one of the two diseases that brought the ummah to the condition it is in today. Our Shaykh Sahib al-Saif is telling us and explaining to us the teachings of the Holy Prophet ﷺ when he said, Muslims today are fearful of death. What kind of faith is that? What kind of faith is that you have fear from death? You have fear of reunion with your Lord, to go back to your Lord? What kind of faith is this? What is separating you from that? Isn't it this dunya? Isn't it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to us, this dunya is a trouble to you? The love of dunya is a trouble to you. Isn't that what the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying to us? You are going to be so many in Akhir Zaman, but your enemies are not going to have any fear from you, because you are going to have a sickness in you, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to remove the haybat, the majestic look, the majestic powers away from you, and your enemies are going to look at you. They are not going to have any fear from you at all. And they said, Ya Rasulullah, are they going to be in very little number? He said, no, the opposite. In numbers, there are going to be so many of them, but they are going to fall into the love of this dunya. They're going to love dunya and they're going to hate death. They're not going to want to hear about death. Isn't that what's happened to the nation today? Ask your own selves and you will know by your own selves. Sit down alone in your room and ask yourself, do I have the love of dunya in my heart? Do I have the fear? Do I hate death? You will know by your own selves. Death reminds us that this life is temporary. And it reminds us that a day is going to come, definitely. One day, that last day is going to come, when we will stand in front of our Lord, Allah Jalla wa'ala, and answer for how we lived in this world. But people today, they want to avoid that reality. Since the beginning of this world, men have tried to avoid that reality. All of them died. They all face Azrael and all of them are under the ground now. No matter how much man wants to avoid that reality, it is coming to him. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, closer and closer to mankind comes their accounting, but they turn away in heedlessness. Hazrat Hassan al-Basri is talking about how foolish man's hatred and forgetfulness of death is, saying, Ya Bani Adam, The knife is being sharpened and the oven is getting hot, but the sheep is still eating grass. And he's also giving advice about who to sit with to get safety from the danger of a bad death. The people came to him and said, Ya Hassan, what should we do? We sit with people that scare us about death so much that our hearts fly out from our chests. And that king-size valley said, Wallahi, if you sit in sohbat with someone who makes you afraid so that you earn safety, it is better than being in sohbat with someone who makes you feel safe. Because in that condition, danger might touch you. So the Naqshbandi Sheikhs, the Osmanlı Naqshbandi Sheikhs, they are constantly reminding us about death. Their sohbat is the sohbat of Hazrat Umar, saying, death is the best advisor. Because once a man wakes up from ghaflat and understands, my death is coming. Every day my death is coming nearer. Then he is going to run to prepare for death. He is going to understand what Allah wants from him before his death. He will understand the purpose of his life and what he has to fulfill. He is going to run to be ready for a day when, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, a man will flee from his brother and his mother and his father and his wife and his children. Our Shaykh, Sahib al-Saif, is running to shake us and wake us up and to prepare us for that day of questioning. And he is running to make us understand, as Muslims, as mu'mins of Akhir Zaman, what is our work that we must do in order to be able to stand before our Lord on Judgment Day. He, Qadasir, is saying, you must wake up. Shaitan has so many ways to fool man, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has so many ayats in the Quran Karim saying to us, wake up. He is warning us from the confusion of Shaitan and Dajjal. Holy Prophet ﷺ is warning us in hundreds and hundreds of hadiths. So now, where is the law that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given? The nation lost every shariat today. Today the nation is living worse than the unbelievers. The majority of the Muslims are living worse than the unbelievers. And now you are going to be that tolerant to Shaitan? You cannot. That is only Shaitan fooling the man. But those who do not want to be fooled, they must check themselves up. They must watch out, they must look, and they must be worrying. In every higher station that they are going, they must be worrying. They must be watching out. Because the higher station they are reaching, they are seeing the danger that is waiting. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this job, this duty to man. Man must establish the Shariat again in this world. Man must open the Quran Karim. Man must work to bring the Khalifa, and man must open the flag of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Is not going to come from the sky. It's going to be from these men that are living today on earth. We are all responsible. In the Judgment Day, we will all be questioned. Allah will ask us, what have you done to bring the Khilafat back and to put my laws back on? What did you do? What did you do? Everyone will be questioned according to their level and according to their station. You must wake up. We must wake up. O my nation, wake up. Don't sleep, Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying to us. Don't sleep doesn't mean going to sleep in the night time. Be in an awakening station. What answer will the Ummah give to that question on Judgment Day? What will today's leaders, presidents and prime ministers say when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks, what did you do to bring the Khilafat back and to bring my laws back? What will they say? What will we say? We don't have any power, but we have hearts. And our hearts, yes, our hearts are asking for that Khilafat to come back. We want to be at least like the ant with a broken leg who went to put out the fire that Nimrud had prepared for Ibrahim alayhi salam. We may be ants, but we are walking behind lions. We are walking behind Sultan al-Awliya and Sahib al-Saif, who gave their lives to wake up this ummah and to remind them about their Ottoman Ejdad, and to wake up the love of the Khilafat and Sultanate in the hearts of the Muslims. Shaykh Maulana is saying, the Sultanate is the nail of the world. If this nail breaks off, the whole world becomes upside down. And now that is exactly what has happened. Peace came with the Sultanate and it left with the Sultanate. Today's worldwide misery started with the overthrow of the Sultanate. Therefore, what do we need now? We need to put the divine Sultanate back in its place. And he is standing from his maqam and he's calling out to all of mankind, saying, "O man, return to your humanity. O Muslims, return to your Islam. O Turks, return to your Ottoman tradition." As the wheel of life turns, it throws away the waste and protects what is noble and valuable. O mankind, the ones who forget their humanity, they will be thrown out as waste. O Muslims, the ones who left their Islam are thrown out as waste. O Turks, the Ottomans had weight and honor in the world. Those who through the Ottomans have become both garbage and the waste of waste. And Sahib al-Saif said from his maqam, from this Ottoman Dergah land, we are the Ottomans. And we are meaning to change this world again to the right way. We are asking in this holy day of Jummah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps us with the holy ones He loves. We're asking to be part of this mission that the prophets, they were preparing their people for. We're asking to be counted as those who are in submission to the Khalifa. We're asking to be safe from our ego, from shaitan and from Dajjal. We're asking to be safe from the curses of this month of Safar. We're asking to be counted as the servants of the beloveds of Allah, the servants of our Shaykh in this life, in the grave, and in the next life. Ameen. Ameen. Ameen. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah lazim alazi la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك والحمد لله شيء قدير. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له الملك والحمد لله. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك. سبحان قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة. سبحان قدوس ربنا رب الملائكة. سبحان قدوس ربنا. إن دين عند الله الإسلام. قم الصلاة.